Alright, this has been a highly requested video. How to level on day 1 of Witch Queen. I'm going to try to break it down with as much detail as I possibly can, because that's important for something like this. So, if you happen to be confused or it just gets too complicated or something, I apologize, but if you want, you could ask questions in the comments, and I'll try to get to them and explain them as much as I can. Other than that, let's get started. Also, by the way, if this helps you or enjoyed, be sure to sub. It's free. Also, hit the notification bell. It's also free. Also, I stream on Twitch. That's free, too. You should check it out. Links in the description. Okay, enough selling out. Let's get started. So first off, let's talk about how leveling is going to work. In Witch Queen, it's going to be pretty much the same thing as always been. But for those that don't know, when you're going to start Witch Queen, you're going to be at the soft cap floor, and then there will be a power cap and a pinnacle cap, but we're going to start at the bottom first. So the soft cap will be any general leveling you can do. This includes campaign, public events, patrols, any bounties that you do, picking up blues in playlists, all that stuff will level you. So just a random example, like I have a 1227 chess piece right here. I can get a blue on the ground anywhere, and it could be a 1230 chess piece. Because you're in the soft cap, blues can still level you up. The soft cap will be from 1350 to 1500, so between that range, you'll be able to do whatever you want, basically, to level up. Not counting, you know, stuff like Zero boxes, which is a whole separate thing on its own. So that's the soft cap. The power cap is 1500 to 1550. That is when only powerful drops will be able to level you. So, for example, currently in the game anyway, you have the Empire Hunts on Europa. By the way, the reason why I don't have this unlocked is because I'm on my free-to-play. I thought I'd show it on here, because it's easier to show, like, soft cap leveling and all that, because my main account is 1400 or some crazy shit. Shut up, Windows. So, Empire Hunts on Master, that's a pinnacle. But there's an Empire Hunt version where it's not a Master Hunt, but instead you have to do, like, 2 Varix bounty runs and you get a powerful drop. That's what the powerful is between 1500 and 1550. That's a powerful reward. Another powerful reward would be going to dares. Now, there's 2 of them here usually. One would be the one you see on screen here. It's a powerful reward for 3 dare completions, and then the other one would be 1 legend run for a pinnacle. It'll probably still be there in Witch Queen. I don't see why they would get rid of the pinnacle for dares, so I thought I'd mention it. But I'm focusing on the power reward here. So again, this is what you want to do if you're 1500 and above. This kind of stuff is what levels you. Blues no longer will level you. You can get blues that will be on level, meaning whatever your main light right here is, your overall light. Let's say I'm 1501 main light, 1501 flat, right? And all my gear except one piece are 1502, sorry. So all my gear is 1502, but I'm like 1 point away from my next level up to my main level right here, right? But let's say, I don't know, your cloak is incredibly far behind. Your cloak is like 1490, right? So you know if you get a cloak, you will level up because of the system that's implemented in the game. So you could just get a blue cloak, and the blue cloak will drop on level. It won't drop above what you are, but it'll drop on level. So if you're 1501 and all your gear is 1502, except for one piece that's super, super far behind, you can get a 1501 cloak to drop, and that by default will level you because your other pieces are above where you're actually at. Now, going back a little bit here, what I meant by this current leveling system is, the way it works is, there's an 8-point system into each light level that goes into your overall power. So if everything was 0, you would need 1 point in each of the weapons, and then 5 points total here, for a total of 8. That would give you your first light level. So every single time you go up in light level here, it has to match every single slot here, at least at the exact same level or above of what you are in order to get power. So by default, I would have to have 1225 in every single slot here in order to be 1225. But because I have a weapon that's 1229, a weapon that's 1231, but then my heavy is 1218, it compensates, and it gives me an overall light of this, instead of being like, oh, your weapon's too low on your heavy, so you're actually under. No, it calculates between how much you're under and how much you're above on certain items. I know that sounds super confusing. I'm trying my best. So for the most part, like 90% of people, if not higher, will just be doing soft cap stuff day 1, week 1. So I'm just going to concentrate on that. Powerfuls and pinnacles are pretty self-explanatory. When you're in the power cap, you do powerfuls. When you're near the pinnacle cap, you do pinnacles. If you ran out of powerfuls to do for the week, then you do your pinnacles. And that's just how you keep going until you reach 1500 to 1550, and then 1550 to 1560 is just pinnacles. So go and back to soft cap, because that's what the majority of people are going to be doing. First up, you're going to be doing the campaign. One way or another, you're just going to do the campaign. You're going to log in. You might as well just go do the campaign right away, immediately at 1350, because the campaign will give you blues. The campaign might give you like a mandatory mission that you must do in order to proceed with whatever, whether it be Void 3.0 or a level gap or whatever, an artifact, you know, stuff like that. So the first thing you have to do, you don't have to obviously, but I would recommend you just go through the campaign on your first character. You might as well get it over with, and then see what your light level is at after the campaign, and then you can start focusing on something different. Another thing is something that most people won't do, but some will, is saving Zerboxes. I don't have any on here because, again, I'm on my free-to-play. So you can save Zerboxes, which essentially kind of almost bypasses the soft cap, if they end up working, that is. I have a video for that separately, by the way, in case you're interested. Essentially, Zerboxes would drop you like +7 and higher on your armor and your guns if you're in the soft cap. So immediately when you log in and you're counted as in the soft cap, if they do end up working, they can give super high plus numbers on all your gear and get you out of the soft cap much, much quicker than you normally would. So if you're doing that, if you want to check out that video and then do that strat, that's up to you. Not everybody wants to do that, though. So I'm not going to, you know, say, like, that you have to do Zerboxes, you know? So I'm just going to talk about if you did not save boxes. So, number 1, do the campaign. Number 2, after you're done with the campaign, make sure you're using some sort of chart, some sort of reminder, a piece of paper even, of what your overall light level is. So, for example, here I'm going to pull up dim on my screen in a second here just to show you guys. So, here you should be able to see my dim. So over here on top left, you can see that my light level is obviously max for this season. And normally this number, where it says 1330, it'll say like, for Witch Queen, it would be like 1352 and then 2/8, implying that I'm 1352 and I'm 6 points away from being 1353. Something like this you can use as like your calculator, or again, you can use a piece of paper, you could use a Google spreadsheet, whatever you want to do to keep track of your points. The reason I bring this up mainly is because it's nice to keep track of what you do need and what you don't need. So when you're leveling, you could just be like, okay, this is on level, this is above level, above, this is under, this is above, this is exactly flat even, above, under, under. And then that way, you can calculate how many points you're going to need in order to reach your next level until you do your next activity. So like, as I mentioned earlier, if your class item is like 10 points behind, then in my mind, if I'm min-maxing day 1, I'm going to think, okay, well, I'm just going to go do stuff until I get a blue class item, because that'll give me at least 1 level up because it's so far behind. And this just essentially applies to every single level you do over and over and over and over until you get to the end of the soft cap, or you're just, you know, tired of doing it and you go to powerfuls. Until you get to the end of the soft cap, you should not be doing any powerfuls that you aren't forced to do. Like I mentioned earlier, the Witch Queen campaign might force you to do something specific that you can't avoid. If you can't avoid it, then it's so be it. But if you can avoid it, you probably should. And the best way to do that while trying to effectively farm blues would be to go into Vanguard Strikes. The reason I say Vanguard Strikes is because here you can actually pick what your Singe is going to be, what class you wear. So for this week in Destiny, it's Solar Singe. So if you don't wear Solar Singe, and normally this would say 0 out of 3 strike completions on that Singe to get your powerful, you just wear the wrong Singe. So if for Witch Queen it's going to say Void Singe, you just wear Arc or Solar or Stasis, and the strike completions won't count towards your powerful, but you'll still complete strikes, and you'll still be getting blues, while not tainting that powerful that you're going to be using later on. You can't do this in Crucible or Gambit, because there's no such thing as, you know, you have to be this subclass at the end of the match to, you know, get participation rewards or whatever. And I'm sure most people don't actually want to play Gambit immediately day 1 of Witch Queen. They want to try the new stuff. But strikes are, you know, they're relaxed. You could just do them in a fire team and blaze through them if you're quick in doing strikes. And no matchmaking times, you know? You don't want to be playing Witch Queen and then you're going to be like, alright, I'm going to search for my Gambit match, and then it'll take like 5 minutes to find your SBMM matchup or whatever it may be. So that's the next tip. Just do strikes for blues if you're out of boxes and you're done with the campaign. It's the easiest path to go for blues and stuff. Now, quick note, I'm just going to list some things that you should avoid day one, because a majority of your day one experience is probably going to be just getting through the soft cap. So avoid doing raids and dungeons, especially if they're pinnacle rewarded. There's no reason to do them right now. It'll be a waste of a drop for you, if you can even do it, depending what the light level of those activities is going to be to start Witch Queen. Same thing goes with doing legendaires, assuming it's still pinnacle when Witch Queen launches. Avoid that as well. There's no reason for you to burn a pinnacle doing a legendary that early. And then the same thing will go for Legend/Master Nightfalls. The only time you should be doing this is when you're bare minimum in the power cap. So until you're at least 1500, don't even bother worrying about this. Even on Adept or Hero, where you can get the powerful job by just doing multiples of them, just avoid this entirely until you're ready to do them at 1500, assuming, again, you're trying to get to 1500 day one. Now, while the bulk of your leveling is going to be obviously getting power bonuses from your gear, I should mention the artifact in the next season. Once you do collect your artifact, which is probably going to be a quest at the very beginning, if not during the campaign, you're going to want to pop your bounties once you get your artifact, assuming you saved bounties. If you didn't, that's totally fine too. But once you get your artifact and you've taken care of old bounties, if you had any, go start collecting bounties for activities that you're going to do anyway. So, for example, like I mentioned, Vanguard Strikes, go and pick up Zavala's bounties, because you're going to be in those strikes anyway collecting blues. You might as well do those bounties and get them done, because that's additional XP for you to unlock your artifact bonus, which in itself will give you a power bonus that will count in most activities that you're going to be doing on that day one. Same thing with Crucible and Gambit once you're ready to be doing those. Finally, I will note one thing for the power cap, for the people that do end up doing a full soft cap run and then go into the power cap immediately day one. Your most likely bet to continue, I wouldn't say free, but efficient leveling is likely still going to be to go into either the comp playlist in Crucible. Why? I'm sure you're going to ask. It's because in the comp playlist, every sub-rank here that you see in the top left is going to give you a legendary drop, which is likely going to be a powerful unless it gets patched. So Guardian 1, Guardian 2, Guardian 3 all get drops, and then whatever your next rank is also gets a drop. In Valor Crucible, that does not work. You only get drops during your actual full rank ups. Don't know why they're not synced up. And the same thing goes for Gambit. It doesn't have quite the level of molding that a comp playlist would give you for just leveling up. But Gambit also, it takes a good chunk of time to just search through the game, search again, rinse, repeat. But this is a second option to do in terms of powerful drops. The reason I mentioned these two is because they have not unlimited drops, but they have a metric F-ton of drops to go through because of each rank and sub-rank, as opposed to every other activity just giving you, your one powerful for the week, and then you have to wait until next week or go on your second character. So, more than likely, you're probably going to want to blow through either Gambit or Comp for powerful drops before doing actual things like the Hero Nightfall and stuff like that. So that's basically it. That's how I would go about day one. That is probably how I'll be going about day one, sprinkling in some Zerd Jabroni boxes here and there. So if this helps you, or if you have questions, anything like that, be sure to leave a comment below, and sub free, watch Twitch free. Everything's free. Just go do it, all right? I'll catch you guys in the next video.